Well, I'll tell you a couple of strange things, things that I don't really understand. The first is college students who were men who hadn't done very well in high school and who hadn't picked a major that had a destination, a career destination at its end. They're not oriented specifically towards a goal. They're not very motivated. Now, I am not divided in how. That's a good question. Well, first of all, women are doing better because they're women, and so if a system sets out a structure and says, here's a pathway to women, right? That's what you get from, if you look at, that's what you get from, if you look at overlapping normal distributions. So there's the female distribution for agreeableness, male distribution for agreeableness. Tremendous overlap. All the really agreeable people are high. All the really disagreeable people are women, right? So it's a very interesting side effect, but that can still produce radical differences. Men won't do anything they don't want to do. Up yours. I'll just go have fun. That's what it looks like to me. Now, you know, that's we, and this is a we, but I'm trying to stretch out my understanding to account for this. But I'll tell you something else that's really weird. And I thought, what the hell? Here's its natural experiment. For some reason, 80% of the people who showed up to this are men. And so I thought, wow, that's weird. Like, what the hell's going on here exactly? And then the other thing I've noticed is that your rights are my responsibility. That's what they are, technically. So, if you, that's what it looks like to me. Responsibility. That's what gives life meaning. It's like lift a load. Then you can tolerate yourself, right? Because look at, you're useless. Pick something up and carry it. Make it heavy enough so that you can think, yeah, well, useless as I am, at least I could move that from there to there. Well, what's really cool about that is that when I talk to these crowds about this, the men's eyes light up. I put something together for them. And that's what mythological stories do. So I say the story and people go click, 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 click. You know, and their eyes light up. Young men are so hungry for that, it is unbelievable. So hungry for that. You know, I was watching The Simpsons the other day. I watched the first Simpsons episode and I deconstructed it. You know, the thing that gives that show its soul is that he's still oriented towards his family. That's what makes him honorable, is that foolish as he is, he's a holy fool. He's not a complete fool. Women have their sets of responsibilities, right? Because they're complicated, because women, of course, have to sniff in at least, but then also they're structured differently than men, even if it's not a psychological issue, and it's also partly a psychological issue. Women know what they have to do. Men have to and why the hell not? Because the alternative to Peter Pan is the Pinocchio story, right? That's Pleasure Island. It's like, well, why lift if there's nothing in it for you? It's like fine then. But then, you know, your life is useless and meaningless, and that's not the star. It's like, okay, you can decide, man. But, you know, there's some criteria. It should be good for you. Maybe it should be good for you in a way that's also good for the family and the community. I mean, there's constraints on what you should regard as a value. But within those constraints, you have the choice. You have choice. Well, the thing is pick the goddamn load. It's like they lose their chronic, they're done, right? They develop depression, and the pain is treated with chronic. It's like, that's what we're doing. So, yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Responsibility, man. That's where the meaning in life is. So, grow the hell up and do something